All right, welcome back to another episode of UpintheAir.stream, and we are filming in Clermont, Florida, and I got my little helper with me, Wiley Dog. And what we are doing today is we are doing the beginnings of hopefully the fix for this Nova Kool 12-volt refrigerator. So a little bit of history. The refrigerator's never really worked great. It is a 12-volt style refrigerator, and you know, if you don't have one of these, this really isn't going to be something that's going to be so much applicable, because they do make a lot of nice fans that will go in the outside compartment doors, compartment, like, you know, access panels that will help your refrigerator to cool more effectively. But what I'm really thinking that's going on with this Nova Kool is there's a vent here in the bottom underneath the WFCO. I pulled the WFCO out there, as you can see, and there's a vent, but I don't know how much air is really circulating behind this 12-volt refrigerator. And the problem is we only get like cooling, like even with our awning out and everything else, we still struggle to maintain a 40-degree refrigeration temperature in the refrigerator, and then we don't get anywhere near 0 degrees in the freezer. So that's a problem, and it's a health risk. It's, you know, a safety issue of getting food poisoning when you're not properly maintaining your temperatures. And we have thermometers in both of these compartments. If you look back, I did do a Beach Lane, I think is the name of it, refrigerator fan, and that did help significantly. It made it where it was usable. But I'm going to try to take it to the next step here, and that is to basically install some fans that are thermostat controlled. And so that's what we're going to be doing in this episode, and I'm going to take you along for the journey. All right, so for those of you that do not have this issue with your refrigerator not working as well as it should, it possibly is because of the fact that I've added some other heat sources in this compartment. And if you've went back and looked at my previous videos, you can see I have my watchdog, EPO watchdog, located interiorly to the Airstream here in that compartment. And then also there's a Hughes autoformer in there as well. So if you've not seen that video, definitely go back and watch how I basically have, you know, the Hughes autoformer, and then the Hughes watchdog in here, the EPO version, and then we actually run a Gen 2 30 amp non-EPO out at the pedestal. So that video has never really been published as far as showing the complete setup, because we wanted to put it through its paces, but I definitely will be doing that someday. But what we're looking at here is we're looking at the area behind the FCO, and because I no longer have a converter that's plugged in, I have an open 15 amp circuit breaker here on my WFCO. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flush mount a outlet back in here. I'm going to run the Romax and run me an outlet back there, and I have all that stuff on hand, so that's good, because I'm getting ready to wire our shed. And but then I have this opening, and this was the real question in my mind, was where is the air that is basically, where is it? You know, where is this air getting fed to the backside of the fridge? And on your roof of your Airstream, in case you don't know, that oblong rectangular shaped dome, aluminum dome up on the roof, that is what allows the hot air from your refrigerator and your freezer to go and exit upward. You know, hot air travels upward. Most people know that. And so basically this is where the cool air comes in and then goes out that silver dome on the top. Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna assist this situation. We're gonna basically mount some fans, and I'm gonna have to take into account, I might have to notch that somehow, maybe, I don't know, where that cable's going up in there. Most likely that is our 12-volt power going up to our fridge, is what my guess is, that where that split loom is. And but yeah, so we do have an opening, and I think this actually, no, it doesn't move around. That's pretty thick plywood. It looks like it's warped, which That's all right. It's not affecting anything, but they didn't use any type of fasteners basically in here at all to keep it to this really nice aluminum frame that they built in here. They didn't do that. So we're gonna measure this opening and see what type of fans that we can flush mount to the bottom side of this wood, and I'm gonna make sure that my screws aren't gonna hit anything. I don't think so. But that is always something that you want to make sure you do before you run some screws in. But that is pretty thick, so as long as I don't use screws longer than the wood, it won't go through there. So kind of talking out loud, the big thing here is I'm gonna have to, I know I can reach this to get all this done, but the big thing is too is like, my thermostat ideally would be at the very top, and that's something that's going to probably require me to take the freezer and the fridge out, but I'm not going to do that yet because I kind of want to experiment here a little bit and just see how, if I just provide an additional amount of air, whether, and that's a constant, right, the additional air, but you know what, I think it's going to have to be thermostat controlled in some way or another, because if we don't have this kicking on at a certain temperature, what's going to happen is it's going to like I say, we're in the cold weather, it's going to make our freezer run too cold, even if with the fans going continuously, even if the thermistor in the freezer is like shutting off, you know what I mean? So we're like kind of creating too much flow to where it'd actually be too cold. So maybe I'll explain that more in depth, and maybe I don't even have a good understanding of it. So I apologize. Like I said, this is kind of an experiment, but I'll give you the results. So you come along for the journey, and if you want, go to the end, and then you can see the results, and then rewind, I guess. So, yep, that should work. All right, so what I have done here temporarily is, what we're looking at is a battery-powered Makita fan. And I'm gonna go ahead and take the temperature, or read the temperature that is inside the refrigerator, and I'm gonna let this run for a little bit with this air blowing directly up, and I'm gonna see how this changes the temperature. All right, so I have the Makita fan running, and I just wanted to say real quick, we're using the Ruby tags. So if you don't know what that is, those integrate via Bluetooth with the Servo GX. And so without opening the door on the in the fridge and looking at the digital thermometer, I'll be able to also monitor the temperature, even the humidity in the fridge, just by pulling up the Victron Touch 70 here. So we'll see what it goes down to. It's 38 currently. We'll see how much further it goes down in the next 10 minutes or so. All right, so about 10 minutes in, and it is rocking steady at 38 degrees. So I'm gonna check the freezer and see if it went down, because we've only been maintaining about 28 degrees in the freezer, which is not nearly good enough to keep things frozen. You would think, like, basically since it's, less than 32, that equates to basically things not thawing, but it doesn't really work that way. So just as a heads up, for you if you're having troubles. So what my theory is here, the reason why it has went down from what has been 45 degrees over the last couple of days, pretty steady, has went down to 38 degrees really in short order, and then maintained there, is basically the fan that is behind the refrigerator. So like basically there's two fans. There's going to be a fan on the back side, and I'm going to show you what everything looks like as I pull this out. I'm going to pull this out, and then I am going to try to get behind there and kind of like reach up in there and see if I can get that thermostat all the way near the top up here, because that's where we're really worried about it, is where the temperature is getting to at the top. I'll show you all that, but my theory is that it's still thermostatically controlled, and it's thermostatically controlled because the small fan, that's the factory fan, is up in there. So that is that's still keeping at a steady temperature even though we're assisting it. So I think this is going to work out pretty good. Let's check the thermostat. Let's check out where it is. Yeah, we're at 25, which that's really not too much better. So I don't know. Yeah, it was 28. So yeah, so we went down with that temperature as well, and I'm sure that would even go down even more. All right, so I got the electric turned back on, and I got some AC going, so that's good. So this is the fan that I've selected. Hopefully it's going to work out great, and we'll know here in a little bit. This is the AC Infinity brand. This is the Airplate T9, and I'll put the description, basically here on the screen, and that way you'll be able to see exactly what the product description is, so you can search it on Amazon and purchase it as well. I don't have any links in the description, in the video description, so don't go there looking for them. I don't have any there. So what we're going to do is this is going to blow air towards us as we look at it, and I'm going to mount it in underneath the opening of where the fridge opening is, where there's supposed to be air that's somehow makes its way up in there, and that little micro fan on the back side of the fridge is supposed to be blowing out air out the top. And what we're going to do here is we're going to actually force it to do that. So I'll show you that, how it goes, and we're just going to keep it pretty simple. We're going to use 4 wood screws in each corner, and an impact, 1/4 inch impact, and get up underneath there and place this flush, and then drive those 4 screws, and then we're gonna put this in here temporarily, so that we can verify that it's going to in fact function the way we want to before we go routing the wires. So and when I show it to you, don't judge that this is going to be the final way that it's going to be mounted. I'm going to use some zip tie mounts and screw them into the interior walls of the compartment down there. So I'll show you all that later. So we have a couple things going here. My light is down in there, and I think you can still see this. So back in here, I've drilled a hole in this closet, and obviously your configurations can be different. This is a 23 FBT forward bunk, 23-foot Globetrotter. But I drilled a hole in that corner, and this is the common wall that the refrigerator shares with this closet. So I drilled a hole to basically put that probe in the back side of the refrigerator, so that compartment space temperature will be monitored, and that way the fans will be triggered. Then I just popped it through the floor, and like I said, your mileage is going to vary because depending on where you need to mount your plates and everything else. You're kind of limited on your display here. On I think it's like 9 foot is all you get. I don't even think it was 9 foot. I haven't measured it, but I think it's 9 foot is what they said, but I don't believe it. Then it comes over there. Now all this is temporary because I want to check this and see that it works beforehand, before I get everything wired up or mounted up the proper way. And so there is the 3 fans, and I actually this was too wide, and especially to maintain the 12-volt power cable going up in there with the split loom. So what I did was I basically put the lip of the fan underneath the aluminum there, which is going to work perfectly. And I only have 1 screw in here now, but I'll put another screw in there, so it will be captured from twisting, but also the wood and it being sandwiched between the aluminum L bracket and the wood is going to hang it up underneath there just fine. So it actually is working out really good. And then I just centered it up on the hole. So this should blow. These fans are reversible, so just keep that in mind too. Depending on your application, you can actually take them out and flip them around. But you can also order them specifically for what direction. This should blow air up in there, so that I should have probably checked that beforehand. But anyways, I'm confident that it does, because you have to specifically order ones with the destination in for mating like air in instead of air out. So, all right, let's try it. And also, by the way, the fridge currently is at 39 degrees. Into that cabinet there, and I put the cables and tied them down. So that is the closet here. So basically just find a location where you can, you know, might be under your sink or behind your stove or something like that. Someplace that you can, you know, drill a hole and put that probe in there. And I did use like some clear shipping tape and some wire protectant. The clear shipping tape, I actually used that and doubled it up to kind of keep the probe rigid so that it's kind of suspended in air, and then anchored it really good. So then, you know, then put the wire protectant on it too as well, and then just put some butyl tape to kind of further stabilize it. So I'm all over the place here, but I wanted to show you where I ended up putting the bezel that controls it. Put it down here. It's off the ground far enough, I think, that it won't get kicked or anything else like that, so should be fine in that regard. Now I have this set at 50 Fahrenheit, so that way the fans will kick on, or I should say maybe kick off, if the temperature does drop below 50. And I'll probably have to tweak that a little bit. I have it in auto mode. I have it on max fan right now. It's showing that it is in fact 86 degrees in that compartment, and you know, it's pretty warm for that compartment. The interior temperature inside the Airstream currently is 80 degrees. So that sounds about right as far as what that should be. It's going to be warmer than it is in here. And then those fans are drawing the air that's in here up inside that cabinet, and then the refrigerator is doing a good job of regulating itself at 39 degrees. So you can read like conflicting information on what to keep what a refrigerator should be at. And so I won't give you any of those numbers because I want you to research it yourself, because it is a matter of food safety. But I'm satisfied with anything of less than 40 degrees, and that's my preference. So the freezer still isn't doing as good as I wanted to, but I did just turn it up a little bit, so we'll see how that goes, and see if I'll get a better temperature out of the freezer. But it's currently at 25. I just basically turned this back on after stabilizing all the wires, so I'm not even going to bother to look at this time. But yeah, so I'll probably do one last follow-up tomorrow, and maybe the next couple days before I actually publish this video, and give you some even further feedback, because I hate for you to start this project or order it or do any of this project without real world results. So that's what I'll do.
Alright, so normally we don't do cooking videos, but we just got this new Ninja Crispy, and so we thought we'd show you what you can do with this small space, and we're going to cook up a delicious meal. So we just got some potatoes, cut them up, put some garlic and some seasonings on there, a little olive oil, and then you're going to take this little fella, put that down, we're ready to set up some chicken. Wow. Oh my goodness.
It's got feta and spinach in it.
It's going to be amazing. Those things are huge.
Did you already put olive oil in there, babe?
No?
No?
I think I should spray it. It says that you don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd maybe put a little bit in there. But, anyways, so, yes, because the reason why we really want to show you this is that, you know, when it's raining outside, this is really convenient. And we love our Ninja wood fire grill that we have outside, but today it's like off and on rain, and so that's what we were thinking about. And also we were thinking about the fact that we could still grill out, and then you know, for like burgers or whatever, and then use this to like cook tots and stuff like that. And that's what we've been doing, and man, it is coming out good. We're going to show you here in a minute when this is all done, so you can see how it ended up being. But that's our meal right there. That's over a pound of chicken and feta and spinach, and then like half a pound at least of potatoes. So that's all of our meal in one container, easy cleanup. And then show them how it goes up there, babe. So you put it on top, and we don't have any like affiliate links or anything else like that on Amazon, but that is where we bought it. And then we bought, I'll put the like the pad there that is the perfect size for like putting up on your stove, and I kind of like that anyways. I wish we would have had that sooner, because it keeps like scratches and stuff from occurring. And then over here is the pad that you buy so that the Ninja, like when you're done heating it, you can land it there, and it actually does it really good. It's silicone, and you just land it there, and believe it or not, the Corian top does not get too hot. So we'll show you what it ends up looking like. All right, a little bit more bonus material, and a subject not really worthy of making a whole another video, but it is something new to us, so I thought I'd share it with you. If you've stuck with us this long about our refrigerator and everything else. So this is the Dyson, I think it's a DC-10. It makes so many different models, it is a little bit confusing. But it is a air purifier and fan, and in this twin bunk configuration, forward bunk Airstream, this is actually a really nice addition. It does 180, and so it's a a fanless or fan bladeless. The blades are in the bottom, but it doesn't have any exposed blades, and so this is really nice. It has made a big difference as far as staying cool, especially here in Florida. And so you can set it and it spins around. Also, we have an Anchor like power station here in the back that gives us really a fast charge USB-C or Lightning combination. This is a Chubby cord, and these are excellent cords. Anything pretty much Chubby makes, they do a good job of making it. But thought I would share this, and we'll show you the chicken here soon. It won't be too much longer. It was 24 minutes total cook time. All right, so we are going to flip the chicken, and it's been like 13 minutes, I think, total cook time.
Ooh, a little messy.
And I'm not used to filming cooking, so I got Chrissy's arm in it quite a bit. That's all right. You get the point. So got her flipped. It's looking pretty good. Potatoes are looking good. It's smelling amazing. And once again, getting the arm in the picture. So,
sorry.
That's all right. And yeah, then you just put the lid back on and let her rip.
I should have went this way, huh?
So a little bit of the issue that we're having with the fridge does a little bit equate with the fact that the AC, this single unit, and it's such a common complaint that people state, like, what are you guys doing to keep cool? Cool. I'm in Arizona, or they're in Florida like we are, and you're talking about 90-some degree days with very, very, very high humidity here in Central Florida. And for a while there, we were at 97 degrees. So, we're set to 67. It's not going to do that until way later into the evening. But we're at 80 degrees inside here, and it is 83 degrees outside. So as it really approaches those hotter temperatures, which, 97 degrees, we've seen it easily 85 degrees here. It doesn't feel that hot because there's no real humidity. At least it's taken the humidity out of the air. But it definitely, that plays into the fact that the Touch 70 is showing the fridge at 43 degrees. So we have some ideas, and we're working with a company right now, and we're hoping that's going to move forward, and we'll be bringing you a video of that as well, of a second AC unit that will be installed right there at that 14 by 14 front vent. So it'll be a DC air conditioning unit. So that's another thing to look forward to. Hopefully that works out. I think it will. That's going to give us some more cooling capacity, and at least we could reach that 20 degree delta differential on temperature. So if it's 83 out, we should be able to get to 65, 67 degrees very easily with the right capacity. Oh yeah, it's done. All right, so this is going to take it off, and we'll see how it's looking. It's looking crispy. Let's see if the temperature is good.
Oh, the crisper.
What's the temperature?
Nope, 143.
143. That ain't gonna cut it.
Nope.
All right. Well, we'll cook it a little bit longer.
Can we flip it again?
We need to be at what?
Check
Yeah,
it
go ahead
again?
and flip it again.
165.
Yeah, I would. Ooh, look at that.
Wow.
The juices
Woo-wee.
are. Yeah.
That's pretty silver.
Yeah. Look at that. It's gonna be tasty.
Yeah, 141. 151. So yeah.
All right.
About 3 minutes.
Yep. So about another 3 minutes, we'll cook it. All right. Let's see what the temperature is now.
Oh.
There we go.
Yep.
Yep.
164. 169. Yeah.
Yep. Good to go.
Looks great.
Looks delicious. What's the potatoes in?
186.
Nice. And I bet they're tender because they cooked for a while. It smells amazing. But yeah, I mean, this thing is so darn convenient. And talk about easy cleanup. I mean, it's glass, so you just scrub it down. It just cleans right up. You don't have a grill to clean. It's all indoors here, and it doesn't produce a bunch of extra heat. It's not like we're roasting in here or anything else like that. And as far as smoke or anything else like that, it does a good job. So we use these big Yeti bowls. That's what Chrissy is dishing them out on, and their new like, I don't know, dishware. Wow. Yeah, it's a little messy, but that's all right.
It'll clean right off.
It'll clean right off. And but yeah, we've kind of went to the idea of that's all Chrissy's work stuff going on as well. So it's a balance between work and play. But yeah, so we've kind of come up with the idea of just having these big bowls, salads, everything we eat, 2 big bowls. All right. All right, you're probably seeing a theme by now of what the video is about and the work we're trying to accomplish here. And that is staying cool here in Florida. So I had the ladder up, as you can see, and we're getting ready to get up on the roof. And to my surprise, I usually am better about maintaining things. This unit was put in service in 21, and this is mid 25 as this video is being shot. And I have not cleaned this AC unit, and I have installed the micro air to it. So I've had the lid off before, and I've been with the lid off before. I've seen it, but I helped another person at our recent trip to our camping on the Gulf video. If you want to watch the review about that, about Destin, Florida, Miramar Beach more specifically, and it was a good time. But one of the evenings I came out there, and the guy basically flagged me down. He was all sweaty, his wife was miserable looking, dogs panting, and he had a bunch of equipment out, and he was getting ready to get up and do his AC units. And I had, we had become friends with these folks from going there many years, and both of his units had quit working at the same time. And that surprised me right away, because he asked me, well, do you know anything about AC units? And I'm like, not really, but I know a little bit. And but he said both of them went bad. And so that's literally what happened was, they got dirty. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get up there and do our own this time instead of helping a friend. And so we're gonna use the Frost King, which has the brush built in so you can clean and then straighten out your fins if you need to. I'm not going to show you a whole bunch about this. There's a lot of good videos, but I kind of wanted to shoot this just to kind of show you as a reminder that you need to do this. And like I said, there's a lot of good step-by-steps that are going to go into it a lot better than I'm going to be able to do by myself. And I just need to get it done because the Florida sun heat is coming up. I am going to use like I said, the foam cleaner. You're going to need a towel to put into the opening so that you don't spray water and debris down into the ducts. And then you're going to need a larger Phillips head screwdriver. And then also, I'm going to try to use this punch to maybe, I don't know, a flathead screwdriver is going to be able to push back the tabs, because there's like these tabs that are like such a booger, and that's going to be the hardest part of this job, is getting the foam compartment off the front there. That's either the condenser or the evaporator, I forget which one. So yeah, so don't ding me on the fact that I'm not showing you a step-by-step on how to do this, but it serves more as a reminder, because I definitely needed a reminder that I should have been doing this a long time ago. Good. All right, so I am going to show you a few things here, just so in case you can't find a good video. So I did take those 4 screws off, and it is like a large Phillips head. There's one here, one on the other side, and then the front 2 are in the front there. So 4 all together. And so what we're going to do is we got this foam here that we're putting on here, and we're going to let it soak for a little bit so it kind of softens up the crud and the pollen and everything else. So there's quite a bit in these cans, so you can kind of use like half. I went ahead and bought 2 just in case I needed to, but I'm gonna hold that back. I know the other day I watched a video where the guy said that you should, if you do this full time, you should actually do this like twice a year. So that's quite a bit, especially in comparison to no times a year that I've not done it. So when you're up here, I like to use these pads, and what I'll do is I'll center them on the ribs. So anywhere you see the rivets, that's where there's a structural member. And so what I do, it's kind of a reminder, like, hey, my knees or my feet, you need to be centered on it. So and also it spreads your weight throughout the, it distributes your weight across the member itself. So that's a good thing to do as well. Now I haven't spent a whole bunch of time up here on the Airstream roof, but other than do the solar panel job mostly, and then the micro air. Now keep in mind that you don't want to touch any of your electrical connections, and I don't have it de-energized, but you should have it de-energized as well. But I'm not going to be going into any of the electrical components. I just have it turned off. So the next thing I'm gonna have to do is this white cover has to come off here, and they don't even really make these things like to where they're serviceable in the fact that they run this foam up here on top, and they don't even cut it or nothing. So obviously it's gonna have to be cut because this whole white piece has to come off for you to be able to access these. So that's what we're gonna do next. All right, so I'm gonna show you a little bit more than what I initially intended, just because I know that this might be very helpful to you. So you can see my micro air that's sitting over there with the industrial double-sided tape on it. That actually was right here. That's what I did. I put the double-sided tape. I can't remember if that was in the instructions or not. And so that has to be broken loose and put out of the way because this whole black cover has to come off. Before that, you have to take the foam cover off, and then you take this black cover off, and then to do that you have to have 10 millimeter socket, and there's several like little socket heads all the way around that you have to get to. This one right here, hopefully it's not gonna be too much of a pain because I do have an extension, but I don't have a very long extension. This is the extent of the tools that I'm working with, because I don't have my professional tool roll with me. It's in the other vehicle and not the Tesla. So so there's like where I had to break the foam loose, and we'll just mend it together, kind of push it up against each other when we do put it back together. And so you'll find a lot of debris in here, stink bugs and whatnot. So, you're going to want to get that out. Maybe I'll get a vacuum up here as well to kind of vacuum some things out. If you have a portable one, that would be good. I am going to put some fluid film like on all the metal components. It's, fluid film is not conductive, and so you can use it in places to keep corrosion from happening, and so even on your plastic, your copper, everything, it'd be just fine. So I'm going to do some of that too as well. So now I'm going to work on taking this cover off, and that's going to expose the evaporator. I think the evaporator's in the front and the condenser's in the back. Maybe somebody can correct me in the comments. Yeah, we did 2 of these that night. Me and that guy.
Did you?
Yeah.
Cool. That took hours.
Yeah, what did it take us, like 3 hours?
At least.
Probably. All right, so we are getting to it pretty good. And the reason why is because at the factory, they never really engage these tabs. And that's what really will give you the most trouble. The 10 millimeters are not the issue. So we're gonna clean this off. It's pretty dirty on both sides. And then we're gonna spray it off with water. And the thing about it is that we need to be careful because this is the overhead down in there. Those are our filters that we clean, that you normally clean. So we're gonna put our black towel down in there so that way when we spray it off with the spray bottle over there, we won't run water into the overhead of the Airstream. So also just to show you, like, that's where your AC comes in, that's your connector, your 12 gauge wire. And then for some reason the factory decided to leave us some extra wire that they had up here. So that's just extra wire that they cut and when they were installing it, and some packaging material. So all kinds of little goodies that they leave behind. So pretty ridiculous, really. Is the only way to say it. So anyways, all right, we'll spray the foam on this fin and get that cleaned as well. All right, so we have our black towel installed there, and that's not that trivial other than, well, let me get rid of this trash right now before I forget about it. I don't want to be that guy again. Well, it's like a plug. Still, I'm sure it was not supposed to be in there. But anyways, the reason why I wanted to stop is I wanted to show you how some of these fins will get bent here at the top. And then also just to remind you, like, all of this metal is like razor blades. So if you're not gonna wear gloves, just make sure that you do not get your hands up against these things. They will cut you in a heartbeat, and it will be a nasty cut because it's literally metal. So, all right, just as a reminder, I wanted to keep you safe. All right, so I got it all wrapped up, and a couple lessons learned. Definitely the best way to take those 10 millimeter screws, and I think there's like 5 of them, is by using a 10 millimeter nut driver. So 10 millimeter nut driver will be much simpler accessing those, and you don't have to worry about clearance like when you're using a ratchet as well. Not only that, but when you're using a ratchet, obviously it has to have enough tension for the ratchet to actually function correctly. So yeah, so definitely 10 millimeters is the way to go. And then, make sure to clean everything up while you're up there and inspect. Some people will do like voltage readings as well, and you could even do that on your capacitor. You could do that, or you could even replace it if you just think it, of doing that. But you can take measurements. The capacitor is something that normally goes bad first. So yeah, it went pretty good. And then make sure to grab a clean rag and have some soapy rag so that you can wipe everything down, because you're going to get your hands dirty, and then you're going to put this cover on and it's going to be dirty, and it's just not going to look very good. So make sure to wipe everything down when you're done to make your job. And then while you're up here, you might as well plan on wiping down your solar panels too and making sure they're clean. So make sure to stay on the ribs, and don't misjudge that rib right there. These rivets right there, those aren't necessarily the ribs. So you need to make sure that when you're talking about ribs, you're going this way. So you can see, you probably can make it out like right where the supports are for the solar panel there. Those rivets go all the way across, and that's what you're gonna be looking for, is rivets that go all the way across. So not those two, but that one, and obviously they march down accordingly right over there as well. So, all right. Well, hopefully this is gonna work better now that we got it clean. All right, so we're gonna wrap this video up selfie style. And I just wanted to let you know kind of what the result of this was. The common theme for this video was basically trying to beat the Florida heat. And we are right in the middle, in case you didn't pick up on it, we are right in the middle of summer here. This is mid-July of 2025. And today to be 97, probably just like most of the other days, and we'll probably get a late thunderstorm as most days are, but it's beautiful. And we're like 20 minutes basically west of Disney, and so they know how to pick a place to run a amusement park, and so the weather is generally really good. So the result of this is that we did our maintenance on our AC. I think it's working a little bit better. Of course it would work a little bit better, now that it's clean. And then the biggest part of this video was the fans that we had put in, because I hadn't really seen anybody ever do anything like that before. So I will say now that it's been about a week and a half since we installed those cabinet fans with the digital controller with the thermostat, that I can say that it runs probably about 4 degrees reliably cooler almost all during the day. Because we were hitting like 47, which was ridiculous by the end of the day, and now we're getting up to like 43, something like that. But we're actually staying most of the day at 37. And I think the biggest part of our limitation with this whole system is the fact that our AC unit does not keep our ambient temperature inside of the Airstream at a good temperature throughout the day, and we're pushing way over, you know, like 80 something. So in the videos to come, we are going to, for future videos, we are going to look at doing a basically an upgrade, either a DC AC unit, which I probably mentioned before, or we are going to basically upgrade the Dometic to like an 18,000 Furion chill 18K variable speed ducted AC unit. We'll see how that goes, because I don't know for sure that it's compatible, and so I have a lot of research to do. Maybe if somebody sees this and they're like, yeah, you can do that, or I've seen that done before, maybe you can make a comment in below. I know Furion doesn't have necessarily the best track record in some cases with quality, but this is kind of a second generation attempt for them, and a lot of people are saying they're actually working out pretty good. It is a better design in the fact that it has a variable fan, and it kind of eliminates the need for the micro air, you know, soft start, and so that's kind of exciting to be able to think about that it's just kind of incorporated. But there's a lot of details that I got to get into, which is like the thermostat, the micro air thermostat. Does it have a heat pump? We have a heat pump on our Dometic, so I don't know. So the DC unit might be the way to go. And so we're working with Pneumatic Innovations on getting a DC AC unit installed. And that would also take advantage of some of our solar power that at this point in time we don't have anywhere to put it, because during the day it's just the battery's full, we're on shore power, and you know, it doesn't really go anywhere, because there's nothing that's no DC loads that's challenging the solar system and challenging the battery to deplete. All right, well, I appreciate everybody watching and listening to me ramble on. I know these can get kind of technical, and I show different you know, modifications, but if you enjoy these, that's why you probably subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button if you did find some value in this video that I made for you, sharing my experience and bringing you along for the journey and trying to make our setup the best that it can. All right, everybody, get out there and be safe.